Good morning, Kitch. It's your boy Billy Zeracat, Billy Z, and it is week 12 of my Sunday sandwich series. I am back after taking a week to rest my bones. I was a tired boy. It's been a lot. There's been a lot going on with the holidays and all my different pop-ups around the city. I needed a little mental break and a little Sunday to maybe not eat a sandwich or make a sandwich or not really do anything. And I think I actually did eat a sandwich that Sunday. So shout out to Pesta because I went there for lunch. So some Pesta Market in Chicago, one of my favorite places. Thank you for making a sandwich and giving me a little break. But yeah, welcome to week 12. I am on early today. I have to get this knocked out this morning because I am helping my beautiful girlfriend Rachel with her market today. She's doing it's called the Underground Art Market here in Chicago. It's at Salvage One. So if you're in Chicago, come check us out today from 12 to 6. She crochets and does punch needle. She crochets animals, like little stuffed animals and such, and they're awesome. They're adorable. I'm staring at a frog that has underpants and swim trunks on that she made. I'm telling you, there's a frog with underpants. You can buy this frog. So if you're in Chicago, come check us out. I'll be helping her out today at Salvage One. But because of that, I need to get this out early because it's also the world's largest motorcycle ride or something. I forget what it was called, but every year in Chicago, there's a giant, it's like a toy drive, fundraising drive around the holidays where all these people on motorcycles cross through Western Avenue, which is a street that goes on forever, and they block it off. So if you don't pass them, you don't pass Western before they get there, you're screwed. So we have to get out early today. So that's why I'm making a grilled cheese sandwich at 8 a.m. like an absolute psychopath. So anyway, yeah, week 12. And what we're doing today, I said we're going to make a grilled cheese. So this is what we're doing. It's not your normal grilled cheese. So if you follow me either on this channel here or on Instagram, you know that I have a pizza called the Tripping Billy. That's my namesake pizza. I started it, created it during the pandemic, and it helped kick off a crazy run of fundraising and pop-ups in the city of Chicago here and changed my life by giving me a platform to share my diagnosis of limb-girdle muscular dystrophy. I used the Tripping Billy pizza as a way to share my story, and it started everything. That pizza has toppings of cheddar cheese, mozzarella. The base is a Shishito pepper cream sauce, which I've made on this channel before. And we'll talk more of that in a minute. Got corn, pickled jalapeños, yeah, all sorts of goodies on it. And I've made different versions of the pizza with different styles. I've turned it into a taco. I have had a burger that just finished at Goose Island here in Chicago that ran 2 months, and it was their highest selling burger collab ever, the Tripping Billy burger. And I'm just like, let's keep flipping this. Let's run this till the whole runs dry. All right. So we're taking this today and making it into a grilled cheese sandwich, aka the Tripping Grilly. I am blessed, by the way. This name that I came up with, the Tripping Billy, I can add ing to anything and I can market it to myself. It'll work. Like I can do the gripping Billy, and I have just like my own glue. I have the flipping Billy, which is my home real estate flipping company. So like I can mess around with it in so many silly ways, and it's the best. And if you know me, I live for stupid names and silly puns and stuff. So yeah, this is my wheelhouse. So today we are going to make a grilled cheese sandwich, and it's not just going to be your typical grilled cheese, obviously. So I'm not going to make the sauce today because this takes time, and I've made this before on this channel. But if you reference a video, if you go way back to one of my earlier videos, I did the Tripping Billy pasta. I forgot to mention that. And in that, I make my Shishito pepper cream sauce. So this little mess here is a sauce that kind of it's changed my life. This is my little event, my little creation. So basically what you do is take some Shishito peppers, roughly chop them up, thinly slice some shallots, and then thinly slice some garlic. You're going to saute those together until the vegetables are softened. Then you're going to add heavy cream, and you're going to reduce that until it's reduced by a third and starts thickening up. Then you're going to add Parmesan cheese off heat and then some nutmeg to finish it. And then what I recommend doing is once you make this sauce, if you're going to use it for a pizza, if you're going to use it for anything other than like the pasta where it's going to be warm right away, I would suggest letting it cool to room temperature and then letting it solidify in the fridge. So it'll thicken up even more, and it's just easier to work with because there's cream. It's going to be really, it's going to be really loose. So you want that to solidify. So I've had some leftover sauce here that I've had chilling in the fridge overnight. I let it come to temperature for like, about an hour before this. So the Tripping Grilly Shishito pepper cream sauce is the base of this. Cheese, we have a mix of a few different cheeses. Shout out to Kerrygold butter and Kerrygold cheese, Kerrygold USA, for sending me a bunch of butter and different cheeses. So I used their aged cheddar, yellow cheddar here today. I have some mozzarella in here, and then I have some mild cheddar as well. So I have a little blend of cheeses there. We're going to have some fresh corn, or canned corn, if you will, in this. This is just some basic canned corn, drained, seasoned with a little olive oil and salt and pepper. Pickled jalapeno to cut through all the richness of this cream and this cheese. We obviously need some softened butter. This is also Kerrygold butter, so shout out Kerrygold. This is not sponsored, by the way. I'm just giving these people some love because they donated some things to me and they're really cool to me, so I want to pass it along. So I have some Kerrygold butter and bread today. I wanted to go. You could go a few different routes. I wanted to get some sourdough yesterday. I couldn't get some from the store. I didn't have any that I really wanted, so I actually saw a jalapeno and cheddar loaf. Which I thought would be perfect because these are the flavors that I have in this anyway. So this is some jalapeno cheddar loaf that I sliced thicker on my own. It was a whole loaf. And then lastly, if you've had the Tripping Grilly pizza before, the original, or seen it before, you'll notice that the edges have like crispy cheese edges because it's a Detroit style pizza. I thought not only will we make a grilled cheese, why don't we have a cheese crusted grilled cheese? So we're going to do this in a couple steps, but once the initial grilled cheese is made, I did this earlier with a mix of cheddar cheese and mozzarella cheese. I didn't really like how the cheddar was melting, so this is just some low moisture mozzarella. We're going to coat the pan after, let this melt and crisp up, put the sandwich on top of it, flip it over, and we're going to have cheese on both edges. So that's pretty much it. We're going to make this work. I made one. I did something today I normally don't do. I typically have these ideas for these Sunday sandwiches, and they're usually just one-off ideas. Let me just try them. I may have some I've made in the past, but a lot of them I haven't, and I just kind of go with the idea and make it on the fly. I haven't tested it. It's just a straight-up R&D with Bill Easy. And this morning, I woke up. I'm like, you know what? I should test this to make sure this works. So I just did a tester before this all started. So before 8 a.m., I actually made another grilled cheese. So I think I'm setting records for the earliest excessive grilled cheese you can make. So let's get this started. I am going to do something different today too. I'm not doing two cameras today. I'm just going to have the one camera set up, and I have my camp stove. I'm going to lower the screen so you can see everything that I'm making in front of me. So first thing we're going to do, I'm using two pans. You could do this all in one pan, and I'll tell you the reason why I'm doing it. But you could do this in a non-stick skillet if you have one large enough to get this done. If you don't have a non-stick skillet that's large enough, you can use a cast iron, or I'm using a carbon steel pan because I'm going to start this on a burner, and then I'm going to let everything melt together in the oven and finish that. And then after I want to get that cheese crust, I'm going to use a small non-stick pan that I have where I'm going to get the cheese on each edge. So we're gonna change it up. I'll have a lot of dishes, but that's on me. You can probably do this all in one pan. Oven's preheating at 375. I'm going to go ahead and get this going here. My little camp stove. It's the game changer. So you want this over medium to medium-low heat. We don't want the pan super hot or anything. We want this process to go slow, okay? So first thing I'm going to do, besides having that on, lower this down. All right, so we have our bread. We are going to get a couple tablespoons of this butter in the pan and just slowly let that melt. Let that swirl around. Okay, so we are going to just take a small amount of cheese, just as like a little bit of a glue on the first layer, and then we're going to take our Shishito cream sauce and plop that on. Now, I'm just going to do a couple tablespoons of this. It's going to spread once it's once it warms up. So I don't want this to be. Sorry, I want to lower that a little bit. I don't want this to be just. It's going to be messy, but I don't want. I want to control the mess as much as I can. So there's the shishito pepper sauce on it. We're going to take some corn and get that corn and kind of press that into the sauce and let that kind of meld together. Lower this camp stove. This camp stove is a little bit different. This burner gets super hot. So I want this as low as I could get this. There it is. I went low enough where I shut it off. So let's just. Okay. All right. And now I got the corn on there. I'm going to put some pickled jalapeños on here. Again, kind of pushing it down in. All right. I'm going to take some cheese. Actually, let's do this. So since I already have the sauce on there, we're going to take this and get this in to the pan here with the butter melt around it. All right. And then get the other bread in there. Move this over. All right. So now we're in. We're going to top it one side just with the cheese. And then we're going to also put some more cheese on top of the sauce side. And we're just going to slowly let this start to get some color here in the pan and toast up. Okay. Again, I'm not trying to completely melt this out here. I want this to slowly just start to brown and do its thing. And we're going to pop it in the oven and let that sit in the oven for a few minutes and let it caramelize. So I like this method for grilled cheese, even if you're not doing like this, Tripping Grilly with all these different ingredients. If you're just doing basic American cheese or whatever cheese you wanted to make grilled cheese with. I like this method, doing this this way. Low heat, get it in the pan. It's going to ensure that it's going to get even browning and get really crispy. And then popping it in the oven is going to make sure that it actually is, the cheese is all fully melted. Because sometimes I've made grilled cheeses where the outside is crispy and it seems like it's going to be super melty inside, but then it's still like kind of cold. And it's not super melty out there. This way, with the sauce and the different cheeses and such, this is going to get it really melty, and you're going to ensure that you're going to get really some good browning and crisping on the bottom of the bread. All right, so I'm going to just take a quick peek. Actually, do this. By the way, if you're watching live, you can join the chef's table. I'm going to grab a little off-road spatula here. But join the chef's table here. You can click on it on the side. And then if you want to ask me some questions or whatever, just join the stream. You can totally do that. Get in this. So just going to kind of peek under here. All right, we're already getting some browning. So this is good. So just because of this burner is so damn hot, I'm going to take this now. This is going in the oven. 375-degree oven, just for a few minutes. Let that melt. And in the meantime, we will get we need a couple things here to get this all going. So I'm going to move this over. You're going to need a wire rack because when we get this out of the oven, we're going to pop it out and let it rest for a second on a wire rack while I start to get the cheese slightly melted on the nonstick here. So there we go. All right, awesome. All right, and as always, I didn't mention this earlier. If you're new to my channel, obviously you can subscribe here. Follow me every week. I do a different sandwich every Sunday. You can follow me on Instagram, which is my main little hub where I put up most of my cooking, my promotion. Talk about my different pop-ups and collabs that I have around the city of Chicago. You can check me out on there. The link is actually right on my page here. If you just scroll down, you can just click on that and you can check me out. on there. You can obviously subscribe here. And then if you like what I'm doing, you can tip clams here. So if you want to wet the beak a little bit and give me a little tip for what I'm doing, if you like my content I'm putting out, feel free to do so. Bigger picture, bigger cause. If you'd like to make a donation to my fundraiser for the Muscular Dystrophy Association, as I mentioned before, I have limb-girdle muscular dystrophy, which is a very rare form of muscular dystrophy that breaks down the muscles in your legs and weakens them as time goes on. So I live with a permanent disability now after living 30 plus years of my life normal and healthy. I'm now 39 and I have a permanent disability. I use a cane to kind of get around, keep my balance. Can't get up the stairs anymore without a railing. It's kind of crazy. Life has changed, but I'm using food as a way to advocate, share my story, and bring eyes and ears to this cause, this disease, and this charity that is working to find a cure or treatment for a disease that doesn't have them. I have one. So it's for muscular dystrophy, for ALS, and other different neuromuscular diseases. So if you like what I'm doing and you'd like to donate to the cause, you can click on the link there too. You can also make a donation to the Muscular Dystrophy Association. All right. What we're going to do here in the meantime, I'm going to just get ahead of this. Turn the burner back on medium low, and I'm going to grab my nonstick. Grab a towel here because I almost burned the shit out of my hand. All right. We're going to get this nonstick heated up again over low heat. Just going to kind of get it warmed up, because what we're going to do is, I did a crispy cheese taco. If you go back, carne asada tacos with crispy cheese, one of my earlier streams, I did a cheese crusted taco. This is the same concept. We're going to put some mozzarella down in this pan, let it get crispy and start melting down. Then we're going to drop our sandwich on top of it, and that's going to be the glue. We'll flip it over and get that baby crispy on both sides. And we're going to have a crazy sandwich to have at 8 a.m. I keep stressing about that. And I've been on a diet lately. People question me all the time, like, how do you make these sandwiches? How do you make these pizzas? How do you do all these crazy collabs? You're not making a Tripping Grilly salad. Like, how are you not like 900 pounds? The answer is, I don't know. No, the answer really is I've been trying to cut back. I don't eat all this all the time. I try to eat clean during the week. I made the sample sandwich earlier, took a bite. I'll probably take a bite of this one, give it away to Rachel, friends, or whoever wants to eat it. Rachel from Friends, if she wants it too, who knows? Anybody wants it, go for it. Let's go ahead and just check and see how we're doing. We only need a couple minutes on this to get melty. Yep. So as you can see, we got some melting going on here. I'm actually gonna go ahead and let it sit for like another minute. You could totally just put that under the broiler too, if you have a good broiler. And this is where the real life situation of living with muscular dystrophy comes into rear its ugly head. My broiler in my oven, some people have top broilers on top. I wish I had one of those. Mine is on the bottom of the oven where you have to kind of pull it out. So if I was going to try to bend and do that while doing this and cooking and talking at the same time, would not be a pretty scene, because I would probably end up having grilled cheese all over me. And it's a little difficult for me to bend down like that. So physically, that's a little frustrating for me. But you can use your broiler easily just to melt this cheese and get it crispier if you don't want to use that. But a hot oven will clearly do that too. So I'm going to go ahead and let's do this. Actually, here, moving a mile a minute. Let me take this out of the oven. I just want another minute on the melty. We're still gonna cook it a little bit more over the top. So I'm gonna get that out. All right, and we'll just let that sit in the pan for a second. We're gonna get this going. And again, I'm just taking a handful. Now I can start to raise this up a little bit. All right. So we're gonna start to let that cheese melt. Now, if you want to take a look, this is what we got. It's gonna get in there, and you can kind of see. Look how brown that is under. It's gonna be so crispy. So I have this grilled cheese here. I'm going to actually just put that down on the wire rack just to get that out. Now, going to get this heat up here. You can see that it's already starting to melt. You're going to look, a couple things we're going to look for when we're doing this. You're going to start seeing bubbles on the side. As you can see, the cheese starting to melt. That's the fat coming out. And it's going to start, since we have the nonstick here, obviously it's not going to stick. It's going to just start to brown on that one side. Once we start to get some color here, I'm going to go ahead. There, we can hear the sizzling now. Lower the heat just a little bit. Go ahead and get our grilled cheese and just place that right on top. There we go. Just kind of try to be delicate with this. All right, now we're just going to let that sit. And the cheese under is going to start to melt and act as glue to the grilled cheese here. And I'm going to look. I'm just watching the edges because once I start to see some browning, I'm going to scoop this up, flip it, and then we'll just let it both, toast on both sides basically. Oh man, this smells so good. This is one of the most underrated parts of this Shishito pepper cream sauce. Hi guys, is the fact that it smells so damn good. The Shishito peppers, the shallots, the garlic. Once you make that sauce, your kitchen and apartment or home, wherever you live, your shack, your hut that you live in, is going to be smelling beautiful. But the aromas of this right now are, again, not the best time probably to smell it, but it smells awesome. All right. All right, you can tell already that we have some browning here on that underside. So, all right, I'm actually going to go and turn this over. Oh, yeah. All right. There you got it. I don't even need to flip this. It's already cooked really well, as you can see. So there it is. I'm going to let this just sit in the pan here for our wire rack just to cool. Because once this solidifies, it'll get even better. We lost some soldiers here. Lost some corn and some jalapeños, but we will let these guys march on. Maybe try to see if I can put these to the side. Get them back in the sandwich after. All right. Move this out of the way. Oh, this looks so dope. I love when I have an idea and it actually works out. It's like, is there anything better than that? And just like taking a thought and say, you know what, I think this would work. And you don't know, you've never really done it. I mean, in this situation, I did do it earlier, but prior to that, like I didn't know. And this one looks even better. So let's just let this sit here for a second. I'll talk for a second because earlier I mentioned I made one. This is the one I made this morning. This is probably like an hour ago. All right. This looks beautiful, right? Right? If you're watching, give me claps. It's nice. I love the color. It's really golden from the cheddar. It just like kind of didn't do everything I wanted to do, like just my initial thought. I wanted it to be a little bit crispier, a little darker. I think it was just the type of cheese because it was an aged cheese. Didn't melt exactly the way I wanted it to, but really good. As you can see, I took some bites of that earlier. This is what I'm looking for. Look at that. That is golden caramelized. I mean, come on. I'm going to burn the roof of my mouth when I eat this, but it's for you guys. So I'm just letting it cool just for another second or two because everything is going to be hot. It's going to be piping hot all around. So, whatever, thoughts and prayers. We're just going to do this. You take this out, move this to the rack. The reason I put this on the rack, just like what I do with the pizza, when you take your pizza out of the oven and you have, if you're making a Detroit style pizza and you're using your steel pan, you put cheese around the edges, you want to get what's called the frico, the cheese crown. which is one of the signature looks of a really good Detroit style pizza. So you can't just take your pizza pan out of the oven and just try to get it to release from the pan right away and think it's going to sit. You need to let it cool, and once it cools, the cheese will start to solidify and harden, and it will start to form that cheese crown. Same thing with this. If you take this out of the pan right away and try to eat it, you're just, first off, you're going to burn the hell out of yourself. But secondly, it's not really going to be crispy. It's just going to be, it's going to be melty and probably greasy. You need to let it just sit for a few minutes. And the wire rack ensures that you have airflow under, so it will end up getting crispy on both sides and not just like soggy on your underside. So nobody wants a soggy underside. You know that. Let's take a look at this baby. All right. All right. You can already hear that it's crunchy. Oh, God. Holy Lord. Again, this is probably the 10th time I said this. It is early, but boy, oh, damn boy. Look at that. That's a Tripping Grilly. Let me move this camera a little bit back. Sorry. All right. Moment of truth. I already know. I feel pickled jalapeno starter at 8:25 a.m. I already know. So again, jalapeno cheese bread, shishito pepper cream sauce, aged cheddar cheese, mozzarella, corn, pickled jalapeno, and a mozzarella cheese crust. This is the Tripping Grilly. I'm going to take a bite of it. You will be jealous. Seriously, I already knew out of all the sandwiches I've made, I typically have confidence when I go into eating that sandwich, it's going to be good and I'm going to react. And you might think, oh, you're just reacting. Everybody who tastes their own food is like, oh, this is the best thing ever. That's awesome. Probably can only eat half of it, or not even half of it, probably a quarter of it because it is heavy. But holy shit, that's good. The Trippin' Billy works. So if you watch that old video, and I have the recipe on there too for the shishito pepper cream sauce. If you go to the shishito pepper pasta video, I'll probably post it in the comments here too, so you can take a look at it. But that's the shishito pepper cream sauce. You can easily replicate this at home. It's simple. As you can see, I've made it in 25 minutes, and that was just me talking the entire time. You probably knock this out in about 10, 12 minutes. It's ridiculous. It's spicy. It's savory. It's cheesy. You get some acid from the pickled jalapenos. If I had a shishito pepper, I usually have those on standby. My logo is an actual shishito pepper, but I don't have any right now. I'd roast one and put that on top for garnish. But whatever, another day for that. Guys, it's Trippin' Billy, the Trippin' Grilly. I'm Trippin' Billy with the Trippin' Grilly. Hope you guys enjoyed this stream. You can watch this on demand if you want to watch it over, feel free to watch it on demand. I don't want to plug in that. But follow me on Instagram, The Real Billy Z. Next weekend, the Kitch is actually doing a Christmas cookie tournament, and your boy's in it. Your boy's going to win it because I want to win. All I do is win. So I'll be doing that. So look for a stream next Saturday. More Sunday sandwiches coming up. You can watch any of these on demand. We have 12 weeks of this. My week, it was actually the last stream I did. So technically it was week 11 with Sandwiches of History, Barry. Check it out. It was one of the most streamed shows on Kitch last week. And I made a broccoli cheddar sandwich. So check that out. Follow me on Instagram. Like I said, donate to the cause. Send me some clamps you want to do as well. But anyway, guys, thank you. Hope you have a great Sunday. I didn't even mention this. It's Bear Packer Day. That's kind of why I wanted to do a grilled cheese for the cheese heads. And Justin Fields is back. So hopefully we bear down today and we send Rodgers into an early retirement. So see you guys. Love you. Bye-bye.